Amen. All right. So let me go back to, okay, in 1875, there was a group of explorers and they launched a hot air balloon called Zenith. Okay? And their goal was to set a world record by reaching the highest altitude level ever attempted. Okay? And they succeeded by reaching 28,000 feet. But 2 out of the 3 men, as you can kind of see from the picture, died. They reached high altitude. They were able to reach the goal, but 2 of them died. 1 of them passed out, but 2 died. Okay? Due to the lack of oxygen. That's right. And this tragic experience was a solemn reminder that a person can live for weeks without food, days without water, but only minutes without adequate oxygen. Because it is a basic ingredient to life's existence. Okay? And when we think of air, we think of oxygen, right? When we think of air, the air we breathe, we think of oxygen, but air is only 21% oxygen, and most of it is nitrogen and other gases and water. Okay, traces of gases and water. Air quality can vary. Clean, fresh air really comes from the purifying action of nature itself. Out in nature, lots of trees, even out into your palace, out in nature, right? But air is also purified and energized by storms and lightning. I happen to like the sound of storms and lightning. To me, it's so precious. It's so powerful, yet for me, it's very calming as well, right? But I didn't even know that it helps purify the air. How about that? Also by green plants and trees and running water, just like this picture. So beautiful, it's so relaxing. And by sunshine and ocean and sand. Who here would like to go to a place like this? I'm right there with you. But unfortunately, clean air often becomes polluted. Industries, car exhaust and smoke, they're all major contributors to polluted outdoor air. And they add gases, acids, dirt, dust, germs, and ozone into the air. And these foreign substances burden the whole body, especially your respiratory tract. Okay? And some of the body's reactions to air pollution include burning eyes, runny nose, headache, coughing, fatigue, asthma attacks, and some diseases. And the exhaust fumes from vehicles and cars, they're visible. You can see them. But the most pollution comes from the invisible gases. Okay, so the gases that you can't even see. And vehicle pollution affects the respiratory tract, making it more susceptible to pollens that causes like hay fever and asthma attacks. And pollution actually changes pollen, making it more irritating. Isn't that interesting? And worldwide, it kind of looks like my son Basil, but it's not. It kind of looks like him, right? And worldwide respiratory problems, such as asthma, allergies, bronchitis, and emphysema, are increasing at an alarming rate, especially in urban areas or cities. Now, buildings, old and new, both commercial and residential, most of them are poorly ventilated, okay? And they may harbor dangerous air. Let's look at some of the possible causes of being in these poorly ventilated buildings, okay? Such as fireplaces, people who live in buildings and poorly ventilated buildings. Some of the causes are fireplaces, gas, kerosene stoves, and other portable heating systems. They can produce a lot of poisonous gases. Also, open flames for cooking and heating. They actually give off many toxins, and they were responsible for over 4 million deaths worldwide in 2012. They can damage the respiratory tract, causing lung cancer, pneumonia, blindness, COPD, strokes, heart attacks, and many more serious illnesses. So when you're cooking, especially if you live in a poorly ventilated building, you want to crack open your windows when you're cooking. You don't want all that poisonous gases to be in a closed environment. Also, the air from musty, dusty bedding, fabrics, wall coverings, your chairs, your couches, your carpet. It's very irritating to some people. So we need to make sure that we clean our houses and dust them off, right? Especially out here in Arizona, especially where I live, it's so dusty. We almost have to dust every single day. That's Maple's job, actually. My God, she's the duster. And when buildings are damp, due to poor drainage in the house, around the house, or lack of air circulation, mold and fungus actually grows. And these can cause even more respiratory illnesses. But how can we protect ourselves? How can you protect yourself and your family? By moving to the country or rural areas, right? Consider moving to a less polluted place. This is actually a picture, it's kind of blurry, but this is a picture of our property, our house. This is our house. I think this was taken back in, 2018. It looks a little bit more better now. But would you agree that here in Arizona, at least here in Wilcox, I always check the air quality, and it's, unless there's a fire, it's always good, right? So remember that it is nature itself that helps to clean and revitalize air. We need to also circulate fresh air. Open your windows. Air out your house on a regular basis. If air pollution is not too severe outside, especially out here. Even in the winter time, we should be cracking our windows even just an inch, so that you can get fresh air flowing through your house. Oftentimes when we have the heater on, or we have, the AC on, we're really breathing in dirty recycled air because it's not going out, it's not going anywhere. You're breathing the same dirty air, right? Also, using houseplants. Bring nature inside your house, by keeping houseplants. They can provide, needed oxygen and help remove carbon dioxide and many pollutants from the air. I know Miss Barbara, she has a ton of plants inside her home and outside her lawn. Okay, so when you go to her house, it's so refreshing, and she has all these different types of plants that's cleaning her house, right? The air in her house. And you also want to sleep with open windows. Like I mentioned, even at night, just crack your windows open. If it's not, very, very cold, even just half an inch or an inch is good enough to get that free air airflow going. And you'll wake up feeling more refreshed than being in a closed room. And you also want to use air conditioners wisely. You want to clean out the air ducts and filters on your cooling system on a regular basis. And when the air is pure outside, you can adjust the setting to fresh air, just so you're getting the fresh air from outside, okay? And you can do that for short periods of time, and it'll help, bring pure, fresh air from the outside into your home. Also, vent appliances. If you have heaters and things like that, make sure that make sure to vent to the outside. All gas, oil, kerosene, wood, or coal burning appliances, smoke or fumes contain dangerous gases as well. You also want to ban, this is a no-brainer. You don't want to smoke inside your home, right? You have to ban it, avoid it. Tobacco smoke contains hundreds of toxins, which are dangerous not only to the one smoking, but to others breathing in the smoke as well. You also want to eat protective foods, right? If you come to our health classes, you learn a lot about healthy eating and having a plant-based diet. And studies suggest that generous consumption of fruits and vegetables, which are high in antioxidants, may help prevent damaging effects of pollution to your body, especially in the lungs. So be sure to get some of these protective foods at each meal. But there are also several factors that hinder oxygen supply to the body. Let's check out what those are. High fat. Eating high fat foods can actually reduce the oxygen level in our blood. Okay? So I want you to notice the difference between these two pictures. After eating food that is high in fat, look at the blood. The blood looks like it's thicker and tends to clump together. It can no longer carry oxygen into the smaller arteries as efficiently due to the high fat diet. Okay? Smoking. This is a smoker's lung. Okay? A smoker's lung is polluted with tar and smoke. Obviously, any exchange of oxygen is going to be somewhat impaired. And at the same time, the blood vessels throughout the smoker's body were constricted because of the nicotine in the tobacco. So this limits circulation in the blood needed to nourish all the trillions of cells and keep them healthy. Also, consuming alcohol also hinders oxygen supply in two ways. It depresses breathing and it impairs circulation. Dehydration. Drinking insufficient amounts of water keeps the blood from flowing freely. When you don't drink enough water, your blood can't freely flow throughout your body. It becomes thick, right? It becomes impure. Impurities will start to accumulate, so you want to drink lots of water. Also, tight clothing, belts, waistbands, they're too restrictive and too tight. It restricts your lungs from expanding fully and hinder healthy circulation. And then it decreases the delivery of oxygen to the body. A lot of times we see, people who, their belts are really tight and, it's almost like this picture, right? Their tummy is all the way up here and then the belt is down here. Like it's too tight. It's hindering oxygen, okay? It's hindering your lungs from expanding. Also, poor posture. When you're slouching all the time, people tend to slump. And this prevents your lungs from expanding fully. Do we want to maximize our lung capacity? Yes, right? And when we're slouching, it actually starves the vital organs of their essential oxygen supply. Incorrect breathing. Now, babies automatically breathe correctly. As soon as they come out, the first thing they do is what? Slap the baby's bottom, and the baby cries and starts breathing, right? But many adults don't. Babies know how to correctly breathe. They breathe through their nose. But we as adults, we're always puffing and puffing, right? They only use only the top part of the lung, okay? Not the whole thing. So we want to check ourselves. We want to practice deep breathing exercises. We're going to do deep breathing exercises right now. And we're going to do 4. So you're going to, as you inhale, I'm going to count to 4. And then I want you to hold it for 2 seconds. And then as you're slowly breathing it out, I'm going to count to 6. Okay? Let's try it. Okay, straighten out your body. I want you to sit up. Sit up straight, tall and straight. Now I want you to inhale, not exhale. Inhale, inhale. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2. Now breathe slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got it. Let's do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got it. All right. Notice this slide and the next one. When we breathe properly, the lungs expand outward and then downward. And when we exhale, we should exhale fully, emptying the lungs as much as possible. Look at this next slide. And as a result, the abdomen the abdominal area rises and falls with every breath. So I'm going to go back. You see? Okay. Now, oxygen breaks. We need to be able to take some deep breaths when we wake up in the morning. This is a really good time to practice your deep breathing exercises in the morning upon waking up, and several times during the day. And when you feel fatigued or after sitting for more than 30 minutes, stand up and take a break and several deep breaths, okay? Did you know that doctors will often, due to arthritic pains and things like that, doctors would often give aspirin, okay? And they find it's not really, giving them the aspirin, it's not the medication that's helping with the pain. Aspirin makes you huff and puff, like you're hyperventilating. And with that, that kind of breathing, it puts in more oxygen in your body, and then it helps with the pain, okay? When you're hyperventilating, it lowers the amount of carbon dioxide in the blood. So they actually tried that. They actually tried, instead of giving patients aspirin, they put them on iron lungs or ventilators, right? And they found that they got the same effect as if giving the person aspirin. Instead, they just gave them oxygen, and it helped with their pain. You don't need to take aspirin, right? Now, singing and playing wind instruments are also excellent ways of increasing oxygen exchange and invigorating the entire system. So let's enjoy nature's threesome. What is that? Fresh air, sunshine, and exercise. When you go out and get fresh air, you also get sunshine and you get some exercise, right? And these are God's vitalizing gifts. And give yourself a shot of vitalized oxygen and a dose of energizing sunshine. Do some kind of physical activity, whatever it is, whether it's hiking or just taking a walk, anything in nature where the air is the cleanest. And the scriptures offer this encouragement. In Jeremiah 10:12-13, it says, He has made the earth by His power. He has established the word by His wisdom and has stretched out the heavens at His discretion. When He utters His voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and He causes the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He makes lightning for the rain. He brings the wind out of His treasures. And without a doubt, fresh air is a special blessing from God. Amen? And one that imparts an invigorating influence on the entire body. Even as we are living at a time in history where our world, fresh air is very difficult to find, okay? But we can access it. We can go to Chircahuas, we can go in Dragoon. Stronghold, that's right. So we can go to different places, or even if you live in a little bit more rural, you can get a little bit more fresher air. And it is my prayer for you today that you will consider a new start in working out for pure air, pure clean air through the principles that we have been talking about. Thank you guys, and God bless you.